reactions.
Well, indeed, Hemba, it's a sad day for the country. As the second president of the Republic of Kenya, Mzee Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, rests after illness where he was admitted at the Nairobi hospital. And right now I'm joined by one of the close confidants and a person who worked closely with the retired President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. He was a member of Parliament, Buret constituency. Later on, he was appointed as well as the Statehouse Comptroller in 1996 until 1998. And currently, he is the chairman of Agricultural Finance Corporation, Mheshimiwa Franklin Bett. Maybe first, you can start by your condolences to the family of the late Mzee Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi.
Indeed, it's a sad day. It's a day we didn't expect to come this quickly. So I want to send my very heartfelt condolences to the family of the late President, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, his extended family, and the Kalenjin people, and the Kenyan nation. We have lost a man who ruled this country for close to 50 years.
You worked closely with the late Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. What can you remember of him?
One, Moi was a forthright person. He was very determined, he was very committed, and he loved this country so much. And he worked so passionately. He was a person who could not leave anything to chance. And I remember him very well when it comes matters education. He really desired for every child in this country to be duly and formally educated. And that is why he went to the extent of building schools, both primary and secondary schools. He even went to the extent of introducing a free primary education. As if that was not enough, he realized most children could not be attending school mainly because of food. So he introduced the Nyayo milk. That was intended to improve the health of the children. That was also intended to release the children from home to school so that they may be schooled. He didn't discriminate. He went for the education of the child boy and the child girl.
Well, of course, drawing a comparison between the way the current cabinet is and the cabinet during his time. You remember during his time we used to wait for 1 p.m. news where such announcements could be made. Maybe you can draw a comparison between the current way of running the cabinet as well as now what it is currently.
One, Moi had a very strong memory. He could remember things of old. He could even narrate to us Lancaster situation as if it was yesterday. So in running a cabinet, he was able to remember several activities that were required of every cabinet minister. And he appointed ministers in the knowledge that Kenya was a country that was made up of tribes. So he tried as much as he could to get every tribe represented in cabinet. It was not possible, but he tried to bring in the bigger tribes into cabinet. And of course, he was also bringing in not people who would not be able to perform. He would require them to perform their duties. But he was keeping them on their toes because every morning he would do a security briefing by calling up every provincial commissioner who would give him a rundown on what was going on in that province. He would then call the head of the civil service, who would then give him a rundown on what was going on in the various ministries. So he knew at every moment what every minister was doing. And he made sure that what he pronounced, although it was later on called roadside pronouncements, but he made sure that whatever he announced was duly implemented as to be able to make sure that it was done, not things announced and nothing was done.
Yeah, during those days we could see the president just making impromptu stops along the road, people's gathering up to wait for Mzee. How was it like dealing with the itinerary of the president at that time?
One, he was a man of the people. He loved stopping to greet people, more so the children and those who were disadvantaged, the ones who are not so privileged. And that is why he kept on stopping, and he wanted to be in touch. He wanted to be close to the people. That is why most of his visits were by road. You cannot attain that by flying into places. So most of it was by road, so that he could stop with the children, talk with the children, and reward them with whatever he had. The same thing he had with the older people. Now, you have asked me how it was difficult to manage his schedule. Yes, it was one of those difficult things. But the one thing is that if you discussed with him the itinerary, he would keep it. He would not change it. He would make sure that what you discussed with him is covered. What he would not avoid is stopping to a crowd on the roadside. He would not pass by. He would always stop, greet them, and maybe give a chance to one or two people to say what was ailing that particular location in terms of development issues.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you have it. That is the former Statehouse Comptroller. He served in President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi's government between the year 1996 and 1998, and he has given us a sneak peek of what actually it looked like working with the late Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. Back to you.
Honorable Frank Bett, who is a former legislator who